Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever felt like the cybersecurity world is just, well, this massive chaotic scramble of technical hurdles? If so, you're definitely not alone. In this explainer, we're looking at a master plan. We're talking about the complete journey, from building a rock-solid foundation all the way to executing real, on-the-ground missions. We're going to see exactly how the industry bridges that gap between structured workforce learning and actual practical testing methodology, and we're drawing this straight from official source guidance.
It really all kicks off with one fundamental question. How do we actually structure cybersecurity skills? I mean, it sounds simple enough, right? But this highlights a massive, everyday headache for IT managers and security pros. Because without a standardized approach, you just end up with this totally disconnected mess of certifications. It's basically impossible to know what skills your team actually needs, let alone how to organize them into a sharp, cohesive unit.
So to fix that chaos, we need what's essentially a cyber workforce blueprint. Think about it like building a skyscraper. You wouldn't just dump a massive pile of steel and glass in front of a crew and cross your fingers, right? Well, the cyber industry is the exact same way. If you want to scale a team without burning everyone out, guesswork just doesn't cut it. Our source material points us toward a highly organized blueprint that's literally designed to replace that guesswork with structured, intentional workforce learning.
So the crucial point here is the NICE framework. This is the official guidance utilized by heavy hitters like CISA and NIST. Its whole purpose is to lock down those cyber workforce skills and really push structured learning. And this isn't just some casual list of best practices. According to the source material, this is the ultimate foundational tool. It's the definitive standard that spells out exactly what skills we need to protect our digital world.
The ecosystem in our sources actually breaks down into three very distinct cooperative pillars. First, you've got CISA, and they provide the official guidance on workforce skills. Then there's NIST, acting as the central hub with their NICE Framework Resource Center. And finally, we have OWASP, bringing in the specific web security testing methodology. It's a really clear map of who builds the high-level learning structures versus who hands you the granular, hands-on testing methods.
Okay, let's zoom in on that federal guidance for a second. You can kind of think of this as the architect phase of a cyber career. Because before any professional can reliably test a vulnerability or, secure a complex server, they absolutely have to undergo structured learning. This federal guidance lays out the exact specs for building that capability. It ensures that when someone steps into a role, there's a real standardized structure backing up their expertise.
In fact, CISA's source material specifically emphasizes the need for official guidance on cybersecurity workforce skills and structured learning. And I want to highlight that phrase, structured learning. It's incredibly important. It tells us that building a capable workforce isn't about, just accidental discovery on the job. It's about intentional, methodical education. It's a step-by-step pathway that completely standardizes how we develop top-tier talent.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how these two major government players compare. On one hand, you have NIST providing the NICE Framework Resource Center, which is basically the library, the giant repository of all the framework details. And on the other hand, CISA takes that framework and uses it to issue their official guidance. They're essentially two halves of the exact same coin, working in total harmony. One gives you the resources, and the other gives you the official roadmap to actually use them.
But as we all know, having the knowledge is really only half the battle. We've got to move from the high-level theory of that blueprint right down into the trenches. We need the inspection manual. And that is exactly where the web security testing methodology comes into play. It's where theoretical workforce skills finally meet the harsh day-to-day reality of securing actual web applications.
Which naturally brings up our next big question. How do we systematically test web security? Because just like we needed a system for learning, we absolutely need a system for testing. Once your professionals are actually out there in the field, staring down a complex web app, how do you standardize that chaos? They can't just wing it, right? They need a rigorous, repeatable system.
And that system is the OWASP guidance. Based strictly on our source text, OWASP provides a specific methodology and project focused entirely on web security testing. If the NICE framework is your educational foundation, well, OWASP is your practical toolkit. It's this rigorous, step-by-step method that these highly structured pros use once they're actually deployed. It channels all that foundational theory into a highly specific, actionable testing guide. This is literally where theory meets practice. We're taking these massive, structured governmental frameworks and combining them with really sharp, precise, open-source testing methods. And honestly, you just cannot have a truly effective cyber defense without both. You need the theory to understand the systems, and you desperately need the practice to break them down, inspect them, and secure them against real-world threats. When you look at these two side by side, you're seeing the complete spectrum of a modern cyber professional's toolkit. On one side, structured learning gives you the macro view, governed by the NICE framework, focusing on scaling human capital. On the other side, the testing methodology gives you the micro view, governed by OWASP, zooming in on granular, hands-on web security. It's a perfect evolution from a student following guidance to an operator executing a rigorous test. At the end of the day, this massive, complex lifecycle boils down to just 3 distinct resources. That's it. 3. NIST, CISA, and OWASP. As our source material lays out, these 3 pillars are literally all you need to grasp the entire journey, from a structured learner on day 1 to a fully field-tested practitioner. Just 3 tools to take an organization from absolute zero to complete operational readiness. Let's move to and see how this builds, because it creates a very logical 3-step progression. Step 1. You access the NIST NICE Resource Center to get your framework of skills. Step 2. You utilize the CISA guidance to turn that framework into official, structured workforce learning. And Step 3. You apply the OWASP methodology to put those skills to work testing web security. It's a totally seamless pipeline, straight from the sources.
So, with this complete cybersecurity toolkit in hand, the architectural theory directly enables the tactical practice. It completely strips the guesswork out of scaling a security team and standardizes your whole operational flow. By starting out with NIST and CISA's guidance and bridging straight into OWASP's testing, organizations get a clear, reproducible path to build teams that know exactly how to secure their environments.
So you now know the official learning frameworks. You know the exact testing methodology. You have both the blueprint and the inspection manual. The only question left is, are your cyber skills structured for the future?